Well, again, it's Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit. Talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week, and we are so glad that you joined us. Ashley Stremme and Steve Post here, and today we're going to talk to one of our favorites, Wayne Johnson. Folks, hit the record button because you never know what's going to be said here, and you may want to show this to the kids and the grandkids.
Well, maybe not.
Maybe not. That's a good point. Maybe not. So we love Wayne Johnson. But Ashley, we're sitting here the end of February, and I felt like last year we felt like we needed to keep drawing lines. Okay, next month's going to be better. Here we are again. End of February, we're drawing a line. Next month's going to be better. Ay, what a mess.
I don't even know what to say at this point. You know, we've talked about COVID. We've talked about Mother Nature. Now we combine the two. And it's just like, I just want to see some racing, period, the end. So y'all need to get your stuff together.
Yes. Whoever you are, Mother Nature,
all of you,
Fauci, somebody, Fauci, Mother Nature, somebody get your stuff together. Come on.
Because I've had enough. And we need to go sprint car racing. And I think the drivers, even though they're used to this time off, now they're even upset that they're not racing, even though they're used to this kind of lull. They want to go racing.
It's unreal what we've been dealing with here. Unreal. But it's not like any other part of society. I get it. But, boy, sprint car racing is all about go fast, go, in 91 races, everything else. And there's nobody in the sport geared up to stop. I mean, that's just it.
It's true. And to see those new tracks that they were going to get to go to for the first time down in Louisiana.
Gosh, so much excitement.
Yes.
So much excitement. Speaking of excitement, how about Christopher Bell? One of our guys, one of our sprint car guys, getting his first career cup win.
On the road course in Daytona.
Who saw that coming?
Not me.
That's one of my questions with MRN. I said, okay, I had you pegged at his win, but not at a road course.
Right.
But he said he loves road course racing.
Okay.
And on the cool down lap, listening to his radio chatter, two people, I think it was crew chief and someone else. Christopher, you have worked so hard on your road racing skills. You've earned this. So Kudos to C. Bell, one of our guys, winning in the big leagues, that's for sure. Hey, speaking of winning, they did get a little sprint car racing in on the West Coast, out at King Speedway in Hanford, California. This is what it was when Carson Macedo and Shane Golobic got after it.
And now for the Dryden death-defying move of the week, where one driver simply amazes us with their on-track moves.
Sugar Shane Golobic stepping up the pressure now on the outside. The 17W looking for the lead. Ran out of real estate there on the front straightaway. Might have had to check up a little bit as Carson Macedo has it. Shane Golobic wants it. As we've talked about, Golobic's never won a feature here at Hanford, and he is trying to get feature event win number 1. He takes the lead from Macedo.
That death-defying move was brought to you by Dryden Diesel All Deaf, the official deaf of the world of outlaws and wheelmen everywhere. Visit Dryden.com for more information.
Pride, passion, performance. We are Team Dryden.
It is Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit. We're in the Hercules Tire studios. Going to the Hercules Tire hotline, joining us via Zoom, is our buddy, the 2020 Kevin Gobrecht Memorial Rookie of the Year for the World of Outlaws, Wayne Johnson. Hello, Wayne. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Always a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Wayne, I was reading some things with this Rookie of the Year, okay? And you were kind of like, well, I don't know. I'm 49 years old. I'm no rookie. I have more experience than anybody else. But when you started to get a little perspective on that Rookie of the Year and who won it before, you got to have a lot of pride in that list of drivers you've joined with that Rookie of the Year award last year.
You know, Steve, really it didn't hit me until the virtual banquet when they handed me the plaque, and it's got all those names on it. And, you know, I just kind of brushed it under the rug or whatever all season long because I just didn't feel like I felt like I was a rookie no better than we were doing. But, you know, I just felt like I've been doing this I've been doing this my whole life. And I thought, I'm not a rookie, you know, and anyway, long story short, when they gave me that plaque and I seen the names on that thing, then it really set in and it's special. You know, it's something that my girls, you know, years down the road can say, you know, my dad was a Rookie of the Year with the World of Outlaws, and cherish those moments, you know, when I'm gone. So, and, you know, hopefully at some point, maybe it'll get me in the Hall of Fame too, you know, being old. So I think I'm eligible here in about 6 or 8 months.
Oh, God. That's awesome.
Oh, goodness gracious. Wayne, like you said, you're no stranger to traveling and running the 360 circuit. But with the World of Outlaws this year, is there anything that traveling with them taught you that you didn't necessarily know, even though you've been doing this for years? Is there anything about the World of Outlaws tour that you had to learn as a rookie this year?
Well, there's a lot of things. The traveling part wasn't any different. We always traveled and always stayed in motels, and you guys know how all that works. But, we always know that the World of Outlaws were the best guys in the business, or they wouldn't be there. And, we had these conversations early last year. I felt like that we could go out and be competitive right away. Well, the part that I learned with that wasn't happening. We had a lot of hills to climb, a lot of obstacles that we had to learn. And we're still learning, but going to Volusia, we didn't set the world on fire, but definitely had way more speed in the car this year, just from things we learned from last year. But, I've said this many, many times, the World of Outlaws are the major league of all of sprint car racing, and all the other series are just the minor leagues. And when you get in that car and get on that racetrack, you got to be 110% every time.
Wayne, one of the challenges, the big challenges this sport is facing right now is crew members, okay? I know you have John Ivey back. He was a crew member last year. You got a couple new guys. And in talking with every team, this is a challenge. How important is trying to find and trying to maintain that crew that you travel up and down the road with?
Well, it's a big thing. It's a chemistry, and we're looking for the proper chemistry. We're together more than I'm with my wife. So, you got to get along and everything. And John, was a crew chief of mine back 20 years ago, and I drug him out of a normal job back last year. And then, Connor, the kid that worked for me for the last 9 years, we just burned him out last year. We really did, just with the COVID thing. And, his mother and father are back up in the West Coast, so he wanted to go home. So I had to hire 2 new guys. And, they're both guys that I've known a little while, and they're sprint car guys. Just around here, and so it's a learning curve. Like, we went to Volusia, and everybody's tripping over each other, and we actually did a lot of stuff in the shop, prepping as far as crash situations, and we did rear end changes, engine changes, front end changes, everything right here in the shop to get these guys up to speed. And then we crashed one night there at Volusia and destroyed a car, and the boys did an excellent job getting me back out and getting us back out on the racetrack. It wasn't perfect, but at least we made it back out. So just gelling with those guys, I'm really anxious to get to working with them more with all this crap that's going on now. And, we're starting back in the shop tomorrow, and we'll just go back to the way we were. But those guys really stepped up, and that's what the chemistry is a big, big thing. And with Ashley will tell you, with their group, it's everything.
It really is. And Wayne, earlier last year, you actually put Shane Stewart in the car a couple of times because you wanted to help gain the knowledge and grow your program. Is there anyone that you really lean on outside your group in the World of Outlaws to gather more information like that?
I lean on everyone, to be honest. And I'll tell you right now, the guys out on the road, they don't share information like, in the lower divisions, like ASDS. Guy would ask me a question, and I would try to help him, try to get him up to speed. Well, they don't help you out here because this is bread and butter, and it's the way they feed their families. And it was that way, too. I just tried to help people. But, they don't really help a lot. But there's a lot of crew chiefs and a lot of friends that I have throughout the years that I have just, connected with. Bobby Sparks is one of them. I drove for Bobby Sparks many, many years ago, but he had cars way back Sammy Swindell days. And I'll call Bobby and say, hey, I'm having these issues, that issue, or whatever, and then just go and bounce ideas off of it. Jerry Russell. There's so many people that I just rely on. One of the biggest persons that I've used my whole life was George Fisher, and unfortunately he passed away a couple of years. And he was probably the most knowledgeable person that I ever dealt with. But no, like I say, there's been a lot of learning curves. I brought Shane in as a driver to say, hey, what's wrong with my program here? What do you feel? And honestly, he gave me a lot of input saying, man, I don't know what's going on there, but something is definitely wrong. Well, then I brought crew chiefs in to try to help me find those problems. And it was just, with everything going on with the with COVID and everything, I think we just all got a little sidetracked and had other things on our minds. But then, right towards the end of the year, right before Kokomo, I kind of got frustrated enough that I sent everyone home for the weekend. Took a weekend by myself in the shop and tore everything apart and kind of learned a few things. And right away we picked up some speed. And now we just need to get some track time to fill that notebook up, because the notebook that we had from last year, none of it's any good.
Oh, gosh. Well, there you have it. It is such a challenge. It really is. Hey, hang in there, Wayne. Everyone else, hang in there with us. More with Wayne Johnson in just a moment.
Hey, Ashley, what are you up to?
Oh, I just stopped by to grab some sage fruit apples. Now I just have to decide which ones.
You can never go wrong with a Honey Crisp. They're light, crisp, and full of perfectly balanced flavor.
Oh, hey.
You could always go with one of their classics, the Gala or Fuji. They're both sweet and juicy. Grown in the heart of Eastern Washington, Sage Fruit Company works hard on the farm and with their retail partners to provide high-quality apples and pears to consumers all year long.
Well, I couldn't decide which ones. Thanks for the help, guys.
I'll race you to checkout.
Wing Nation by Sage Fruit. Rolling along on the Hercules Tire Hotline is Wayne Johnson joining us here. We spent a little time in the first segment talking about racing. I want to go off the racetrack. Wayne, one of my favorite things that you do is the Wednesday with Wayne podcast. And folks, it's available wherever podcasts are. You got to check this out. To me, you take a major risk, though. Okay, and I say this with Ashley sitting next to me, because back with MRN days a year or two ago, Ashley and David did a podcast together. You and Sarah do a podcast together. There are times when Ashley and David would show up in the same car and be perfectly good. There were other times when Ashley and David would show up in separate cars and maybe things are going well. Are you making it work with Sarah? How's that working with you two?
Guys, if it wasn't for her, there would be no Wednesday with Wayne. This was her project. And, there's been some button heads. I'm not going to lie. There was some things that happened early in the Wednesdays with Wayne program there that maybe didn't get edited out, that was said that probably shouldn't have been said. And but really and truly, it's her project, and I just go with it. I'm not, I don't know if you guys actually listened last week, but we got all the races got canceled, and we were in Navarre Beach, and we went out for dinner, had a bottle of wine, and it was kind of a little bit of a loose Wednesdays with Wayne, especially with Sarah, because she was, there might have been some couple cuss words involved in that, but no, really, that it's been a project that's hers, and she is, everything she does with it, as you guys know, I don't know anything, even this Zoom call, I messed it all up, but she does all of that, and the marketing part of everything with Wayne Johnson, and she's doing all that now and doing a fantastic job. She's helping me market it myself, which I was always that guy that, if you race a car, the marketing was what you did behind the seat or in the seat, and never worried about the internet and all that. Heck, I don't even know how to turn the internet on. So it's all her deal, and it's a lot of fun, and we're getting a lot of interaction with a lot of people. And I don't know if you see, we've done a couple of videos where, like, I did I called it, she didn't call it this, but I called it the MTV crib tour of the trailer. Yes. People don't get to see that behind the scenes of that stuff much. So just trying to show the fans a lot of that kind of deal. And like I say, it's not always fun, because there's times that I'll come in on a Tuesday night. She goes, "We haven't even did anything yet." I'm like, "Oh no, we got to do that now." So I know what you're talking about as far as the bickering a little bit.
Just remember, there's no one you're willing to fight harder for than the person you're willing to fight hardest with. Okay?
There we go.
That's the way I look at that.
That's funny.
But Wayne, really, you talk about the new trailer. You've got a new motorhome, a new look, just a whole lot new going on for 2021. I mean, obviously Rookie of the Year last year, but what does it take to make all this happen with the new motorhome, the new look, the new trailer, to really just make 2021 incredible?
A great car owner, and I have one of those. He's allowing me to get away from the team and travel in a motorhome. And it's new to me, actually. It's not new. It's kind of old, actually. I'm poor, so I have to buy old motorhomes. But no, I told myself last year, we talked about going and doing the World of Outlaw deal, and I thought we would be fine, and I thought we could really be way more competitive. Well, there's a reason that those guys have motorhomes, and airplanes and all that stuff. Get away from the crew guys and just disconnect. And that's what I'm trying to do because, you know, when I was with the team, they would be the car wash 4 o'clock in the morning. And then, you know, back up at 9 or 10 o'clock the next morning working on the car, work all day. Well, when I'm traveling with them, I've got to do the exact same thing. So I'm exhausted all the time. And at 10 o'clock every night, I got to be the best I can be on 3 hours of sleep. And so I just thought, you know what, especially at 49 years old, I need my rest. I ain't no kid anymore. So that's how it all turned out. And like the motorhome thing, we just kind of we're just learning that. But it's going to be much better. Like I always fall back on Sarah, but she went and got all the same sheets and the blankets and the pillows and everything and put in that motorhome that we have at home. And I've slept in that thing now a couple of weeks, and I sleep in that thing just like I'm at home.
That is awesome. That is really, really cool. That's for sure. One of the other elements, Wayne, we've talked about with you in the past is your fitness routine. You're taking care of yourself, and I know Sarah is really into it with the yoga and everything else. But when you talk about having to be so good at 10 o'clock at night, how important is that? And pulling away from the team to be able to do that as well, so that you're physically ready to go and mentally ready to go.
Well, I think that was a lot of it last year. You know, I was just mentally beat, you know, because we were horrible. And then the guys bickering back and forth and then the no rest. I just, you know, I said, you know, the only way that we're going to do this and be successful at it is I got to be just like the other guys. And I'm not saying all those guys have motorhomes and all that stuff, but, you know, I'm going to use David Gravel, for instance. I was with the team last year and at the motel. I was out with them in the morning because they're banging around and making noise. You can't sleep in. And I see David Gravel come out of the hotel at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, dragging his suitcase across the parking lot, going over to the team. He hasn't done anything. So I said, you know what? For me to be that good at night, I've got to sleep till 1. Well, when you know yourself, when you get older, it's hard to sleep in. Yeah. So I'm trying to do that. And plus eating right and doing all that stuff, it's going to be easier with the motorhome. And that's the biggest thing. I just, you know, you can't get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, work all day, and be good at 10 o'clock at night. So I'm trying to eliminate all those stressful. John has stepped up and doing a great job managing. He's helping me manage this team, and he's taking care of his guys now. So I don't have to tell those guys everything to do and when to do it. And I'm still kind of helping booking hotels and doing that stuff. But for the most part, John's taking that side of it, and I'm just kind of doing my own deal.
Well, I'll tell you what, Wayne, second year is going to be significantly better than the first year once we get it going, however we figure out how to do that. But we appreciate the time. Always a pleasure to catch up and chat with you, and we wish you the best as you rolled up and down the road with the World of Outlaws in year 2 for you.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on. Always a pleasure.
There we go. Wayne Johnson joining us here on the Hercules Tire Hotline. Stay with us. Our Tweet Your Seat, Tweet of the Week, and a lap around the sprint car world are coming up.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
Watching Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit, and it is the tweet of the week. This week it is coming from Kevin Schmidt. Now, we've talked about this all day long. Mother Nature is ruining everything. So when the icebreaker gets postponed, you have to improvise, and there's no better way than racing video games. That's right, the kids racing sprint cars. And maybe we'll come back to that. Hopefully not.
I hope not.
I hope not, because I want to see the real thing. But you never know.
That is for sure. So I love that, Kevin. I really do. Thanks for sending that in. Hey, let's take a lap around the sprint car world. Really, there's a theme to this one. The West Coast Nightmare. Second year in a row, West Coast California World of Outlaw Tour has been canceled. Races in Nevada, Arizona, California, New Mexico canceled. I will say this. The World of Outlaws are pretty good, though, Ashley, at pivoting.
Yes.
They really are. So stay tuned, because we don't know where they're going.
Yes.
But they will get some races in. Well,
we might know.
We might know.
But we can't drop it
but
yet.
We can't say yet. So Yes, but it is, stay tuned. It is what it is. That's turn number one. Turn number two, we'll keep it out in California. One of our buddies, Tim Kading, is going to be busy. Okay, TK has announced that they're returning with the Bates Hamilton Racing. That's the number 42X, going to run the full season of the King of the West Series and about 40 races. I think the thing that's really neat about their plan, though, and this is their fourth year together, Ashley, is they've got a plan, but if things don't go well in California, they've got a plan B to travel a little bit. Unfortunately, that's what sprint car teams need these years.
Yes,
these days.
Especially with everything we're dealing with. It feels like it's the common denominator. But Tim has had an incredible mashup, if you will, with Jason Sides and Tony Stewart Racing. I mean, maybe he can go back and get a jacket instead of just a sweatshirt now,
That's
but
right,
it's been really cool to see how flexible he's been able to be.
Yeah, and I think there's still some Jason races on the schedule as well. Let's head down the backstretch into turn number 3. I love this pairing. Lucas Wolf and Mark Cauldron are teaming up to run the All-Stars. Lucas, a second-generation racer. He's traveled the World of Outlaw Tours. He's won the World of Outlaw Tours. He's been a Pennsylvania Posse guy. He's won a Pennsylvania Posse guy. The All-Stars run a lot in Pennsylvania, and they travel a lot. Ashley, to me, this is a good combination, and it's a pretty good team owner, too.
It is. I've known Mark. Mark and my dad used to race together back in the day, so I know Mark real well, and we chatted a couple weeks ago, actually, and he's going to be on the road with them probably 50% of the time as well. So you want to talk about somebody that just loves sprint car racing, that's Mark, and he just wants to field a car, and I think this pairing's going to be pretty good with All-Stars.
I really like that. Lucas is also going to run the Allback 5W in some races when the All-Stars are off. And turn number 4, Persistent Pete Walton. USCS, it's a regional 360 tour here in the Southeast. February and March, he sets sail down on the Gulf Coast. And while everybody is getting rained out, pandemiced out, all of this stuff, Pete keeps knocking races out. Last weekend, there was one race in California, and Pete got both of his races in, Tim Schaefer and Mark Smith. They head to Mississippi, to Louisiana, and Alabama. They are, when no one else is racing, Pete Walton's holding races.
He's making
USCS.
it happen.
Yep.
He is making it happen. Like Mark said, and all the guys we've had on before, it makes sense for them. They're not racing up north. Let's shimmy down there and get some racing.
Absolutely. So they're racing down on the Gulf Coast with Persistent Pete Walton. And there you have it, our lap around the sprint car world. Stay with us. More Wing Nation in just a moment.
Hey, Ashley, what are you up to?
Oh, I just stopped by to grab some sage fruit apples. Now I just have to decide which ones.
You can never go wrong with a Honeycrisp. They're light, crisp, and full of perfectly balanced flavor.
Oh, hey!
You could always go with one of their classics, the Gala or Fuji. They're both sweet and juicy. Grown in the heart of Eastern Washington, Sage Fruit Company works hard on the farm and with their retail partners to provide high-quality apples and pears to consumers all year long.
Well, I couldn't decide which ones. Thanks for the help, guys.
I'll race you to checkout.
Wing Nation by Sage Fruit continues on here. So glad you're spending some time with us here on our TV program. Want to remind you that there's more than this. Go to wingnation.com and you can catch our podcast from Thursdays, our Tuesday show, which is a live show. Aaron Evernham and yours truly host those. So, Ashley, we talked about this at the top of the show. We're going to draw a line here.
Yep.
End of
That's it.
February.
We're done.
March is a big month.
That's right. We're going racing.
We're going racing. I'm with you. A lot of the attention will be right up in your native state, Pennsylvania. I think next week Port opens up, then Williams Grove the week after that. We're going to go racing in Pennsylvania soon.
Yes. By golly, I don't care. Hell or high water. We are going racing.
I was confident. Oh, yeah. Yes.
And it's snowing in Pennsylvania again this past week. But yeah, we're going racing. It's right.
Yeah, so we'll try in Pennsylvania. I love the month of March because our friends at Attica open up. So Rex Lejeune has got an opening date up there. ASCS, they're planning on California. We're all planning on California. One thing that's been fun, though, California, because of purse structures and stuff, they have been able to have a lot of 360 racing, even last year, where they're non-spectator events. They're able to make them work with the back gate, basically. So at least we're getting some California 360 racing in as well.
That's right.
So fun stuff. Fingers crossed. March is going to be better, that's for sure. Hey, thanks to Wayne Johnson for joining us here this week. More important than all of that, thank you for joining us here on the show.